How's it going, folks? This is Aviel Leos from the Children's Court, coming to you live from Mission Control Studios. Still under construction, but making progress. So today, I wanted to talk about Young Buck and a situation with Young Buck being exposed as bisexual, homosexual, whatever we're going to call it today. Is 100 different names. First, obviously, he was caught on camera having sexual relations with a transgender man to woman sort of person. He was obviously, under some kind of influence of some kind of drug, but he was definitely into it. And at the same time, he obviously knows who this person is and what this person is, because he was recorded on a phone call by the individual, pleading with the individual, the transgender, to recant his statement and I believe deceive people into believing that the transgender was lying about the relations that Buck had with it. So Young Buck's not really looking too good out here. It's really sad to see one of the most notorious, wild lyrical rappers out of G Unit, besides Lloyd Banks, go down like this. And it just doesn't look right with him, especially today. But being angry and trying to set up fights and talk and threaten to kill people for exposing the truth on him, when they might be doing it maliciously. And so I can't say that they're not doing it maliciously, but the fact that they're doing it is righteous, because he's obviously living a double life, and that can be dangerous for the people that deal with him. That can be dangerous for the women specifically that deal with him, because he's basically involving himself inside the sexuality of the LGBT, I don't know all the letters, but he's involving himself inside the life of the homosexual community. And we all know that there's a high rate of sexually transmitted disease, specifically HIV, inside that community, and he's actively bringing that culture into his home. I believe he's married, and Young Buck is, as you can see inside the hotel video when he's being given oral sex by the tranny, he's not just sleeping with his wife. So he's probably more than likely sleeping with men and women. That he probably doesn't care if they're transgender, as long as they get booty injections and breast injections. He probably doesn't care. That's what it seems like. It seems like, what your gender is doesn't matter to him and a lot of people in Hollywood. So he's just the latest one to be exposed to the masses as somebody who indulges in that lifestyle. I believe that he can, on a brighter side for him, he's been exposed in a time in history where it would be actually an advantage for him to embrace what he's become over time. I don't know when this happened necessarily, but if he would embrace it and promote himself in that manner, he would be celebrated. He would be celebrated, and he'd be, be rich. He'd be given wealth just on the basis that he practices homosexuality. He'd be lifted up, and you can inside the world we live in today, I think it's well known that if you come out as gay or homosexual, you're going to be lifted up. You're going to be given more opportunities than the average man. So his integrity still seems to be intact, being that he is embarrassed by this and he doesn't want this to be known and out there. So the idea of integrity, at least, is intact inside his heart. So he still understands that inside, as far as his moral beliefs goes, he's doing something wrong. And I'm not trying to encourage it. I'm saying that if that's what you are, it would be more to your advantage to embrace it and gain wealth off of it. You don't necessarily need to be ashamed of it in today's time, inside a world that's accepting of it. Of course, people with the morality of the Bible and the God of Israel are not gonna accept that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that you're already out there, so you can either repent and apologize for it and change your life, or you can embrace it and take advantage of it and take advantage of where it could take you. You know what I'm saying? Young Buck has the potential to get deals along the lines of Jay-Z getting Rock Nation and Tidal and just backing from all of the multi-billionaires inside the music industry if he'd embrace it. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying that just don't act like it's not who you are. If it is who you are, if you're ashamed of it, then turn from your ways, become something different. As simple as saying, I was wrong, I was heavy on the drugs, I was doing crazy wild shit, and I wasn't paying full attention to what I was doing, and I need to take responsibility for that. I think that he obviously has a problem with people knowing that he's bisexual, and with that being said, he needs to come clean, say he made a mistake, and turn his life around. Trying to be more hard isn't helping him at all. Like getting crazy on the camera, talking about who he better not run into, and he gonna lay something down, and he want to fight and pull up on somebody. That shit looks crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, these dudes didn't lie on you. You're going crazy on the camera because you're getting exposed, for one. But it looks crazy. Nobody's trying to hear that thugged out crazy shit from you. No regular, no traditional man's trying to hear that from you right now. No traditional man wants to hear you rap. And I believe I said that under one of your newest videos. I think it was a diss video. Nobody's trying to hear you talk about guns and thugging. And that's just the reality of it. But it's just, you have to take control of yourself right now. Right now is not the time to be trying to be Young Buck from Cashville. Right now is the time for you to figure out who you are as a man, so you can move forward inside a productive manner. And that's just the reality of it. I don't have any malicious hatred towards Young Buck, but I'm disappointed because I was a Young Buck fan. I bought all of his albums, even though the music was decadent. You know what I'm saying? I understand that he's a product of his environment, and he just rapped what he knew, and he did it, pretty good, very entertainingly. So for me, it's like I'm not listening to Young Buck anymore because I feel deceived. I feel like you deceived me into believing you were somebody that you weren't, because you didn't rap about the trannies that you sleep with. Because if you were, I would have been able to make a decision about whether or not I wanted to listen to you based on my morality. And now I have to just make a knee-jerk decision and throw all of that shit out the window, because now I don't know what I'm... It's the same thing with Frank Ocean, like when he was rapping about, relationships and pain and hurt and all that stuff. Now I know he was not... We weren't we weren't thinking about the same thing. He wasn't singing about the same... He wasn't singing about women as far as I'm concerned. He was singing about his gay relations with other men, and obviously I can't relate to that. So I had one song from, I think it was called Swim Pool or something like that. I don't know, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But at that point I said no more Frank Ocean for me, because we don't relate, and the things he's singing about are morally wrong in my personal opinion. Not putting that on anybody else. What else do we want to say? Um, I guess that's, well, mostly it. I mean, the proof is out there. It's not really alleged with Young Buck. He's on video. He's on camera. Pleading with the tranny, and the tranny is just getting more information, talking about how you know me, I'm down for, like, so he knows that this man had a penis, and he still was dealing with the man as if it was a woman. So there's no alleged situation with this. This is the reality of the situation. Only the reason I wanted to speak on it is because he seems to just be digging himself a bigger hole. Now he's angry at 50. 50 put out an order of protection on me. I'm like, you still trying to act like a thug? Nobody's looking at you like that right now. Everybody's looking at you like crazy right now, because you were exposed and you lied about it. You got all upset like somebody was trying to tarnish your name, and it was true. So it's disappointing for somebody that I thought was one of the realest, back when I, was under the influence of real niggas. I used to think this was one of the realest niggas in the music industry. Like, no, like, hands down. I thought he could have went up against 50 the same way Game did, and been great. But he didn't go full throttle like Game did. So didn't work out that way. But I thought he was one of the greats, and obviously the music industry did also. Like the Southern guys, they pulled him down there. They made great songs together. I don't want to keep rambling on, but it's important that we look at the Young Buck situation objectively, and not with any real malice. Like I said, I don't have any personal hatred or anything of that nature towards him. I'm just disappointed because I wasn't able to make a decision based on the truth, dealing with his music and how I followed him. So now I have to make that decision, and I wanted to be one of the people to expose this situation to more people. My channel is small right now, but I want to be one of those people that sends this information out to more people, so they just know. You know what I'm saying? Some people wouldn't even believe this stuff. Some people aren't on the internet, hard as it is to believe, but some people wouldn't believe this off of word of mouth. Young Buck was a thug and a gangster, one of the realest niggas on the streets in the early 2000s. So this isn't easy for a lot of people, but once you see the proof, you just gotta take it how it is and keep it moving. So yeah, Young Buck has a transgender fetish, and he's living a double life, and he's been exposed, and he's like just going crazy right now. So we're gonna see where this goes. I'll keep following the story and reporting on it if something, well, talking about it, if something new develops that's worthy of speaking about. But for now, I'm gonna get out of here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright?